How's everybody doing? It is Paul from Magpie 24/7 hard at graft. Despite the coronavirus lockdowns, I hope everybody is A-OK, taking care of each other and is fit and well. Yes, it's a Saturday. No football today though for Newcastle. We have to wait until tomorrow until we welcome Brighton from all the way down south to come up to St James's Park. And let's hope tomorrow for a few things. Let's hope Newcastle manage to continue the positive momentum at the beginning of this season and claim our second league victory in a row, which will be the best start to a Premier League season since 1997. Now, to put it in context, I had just finished school. You know, in all that time, the managers that we've had, you know, the likes of Bobby Robson, Rafa Benitez, John Carter. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only taking the piss. He was fucking shite. But yeah, we've had Bobby, we've had Rafa, and we haven't had as good of a start as this season. Potentially, that is if we can overcome a tricky Brighton side. A side who sort of, you know, seem to be hand in hand with us. You know, a sort of team that you would think at the end of the season, at the final shake-up, will be there or thereabouts in the table with us. We seem to be matching ourselves literally blow for blow, pound for pound, and there isn't much between the two sides. You look at last season and they were two of the very worst games, Borefest, particularly the one down at Brighton. That was as if there had been a gentleman's agreement before the game. They needed a point, we couldn't be asked, we were okay, and it fizzled out into the most basic practice match that you've ever likely to see. And I hope the quality tomorrow is considerably higher. You know, we had to suffer through the Blackburn victory. Yes, it was a victory, undeserved victory, but a victory nonetheless. But we suffered slightly through that performance, albeit a little chink of light with that beautiful pass by Miggy and the great finish by Fraser. I would prefer to see more of the West Ham performance than a sort of Blackburn-esque performance. And I think, obviously, with the changes we're able to make and the players that we now have got fresh, we should be able to. If you look at our squad and their squad, I think we've now got more match winners than what they've got. They've got a few injury concerns. Obviously, we've still got 5 out. But they've got concerns around Adam Lallana, shock horror. He's already starting with the knocks and injuries down at Brighton at his new club. And Ben White, an exciting centre-back who played last season for Leeds. He is rated as doubtful for the game at St James's Park. So we'll see how that one goes. Is it a bit of kidology, or is it a real risk of missing the game? We will see. I don't like to use the word confident as a Newcastle supporter because, you know, I'm long enough in the tooth to know better. But I'm optimistic going into this game that Newcastle should be edging this one. I think it's going to be a close game. I'd love it if we could keep another clean sheet, because I think clean sheets are key at the moment, especially with Dubravka being out, still injured for the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks at least. Whoever comes and does the duties for this game, if we keep clean sheet, then I'm confident that we'll get the 3 points. It was almost Michael Owen-esque, that, wasn't it? Whoever scores the most goals will win. But yeah, he'll probably go with Darlow in goal today, although I was ultra impressed with Gillespie on his debut last time out against Blackburn. I thought he was fantastic. His command of the area, his work as a goalkeeper, not only just in the shot stopping and stuff, which he did do a couple of decent stops, especially a double one down at the Leazers. But his general all-round play, his calmness, his ability to come and collect and not punch and flap. I'd probably be tempted to play him, I really would. Get a Geordie in the team, I'm all for that. Local lad's doing well, but I think he'll go with Darlow because of the experience and because he has waited so patiently as Dubravka's understudy. So I think he will continue to persevere with Darlow in goal. So let's hope he has another quiet game well, he's not called into action much, and we get the points. Alan sent Maximum give me an absolute virtual heart attack when there was reports that he could be injured, and you're like, oh, why did you bring him on, Brucey, you daft bastard? Why did you bring him on? Oh, he's going to be injured, but no, thankfully Brucey has gone down and calmed us all down to say that no, there's no issue there, there's no problem, he'll be okay, and you'd imagine he's going to waltz straight back into the starting 11, because he's, like I said, he's one of their match winners, there's no doubt about it. On his day, different gravy, to coin a phrase, yeah, total different gravy, match winner, and I'm looking forward again. And this is the thing, you know, Newcastle fans, oh, you bunch of cunts, you bunch of bastards, you're awful. A couple of new signings and we're like a kid in a sweet shop. You're looking forward to the next game, you're excited, there's an anticipation. Yes, no live crowd. That's disappointing. It's more like watching a box set than watching football at the moment, isn't it? Especially gutting that Middlesbrough can have up to 1,000, which will probably be their all-time attendance record in one of these test events, and we still can't have anything. Obviously, lockdown and COVID and all that shit that's going off at the moment. But yeah, at least, you know, we've got a chance to create a little bit of positive history for the best start since '97. We can do that with a victory. I'm confident that we'll get a victory. I think the team that he's going to go with, I think he's going to stick with a 4-4-2 that worked well against West Ham. So I think he will go Carl Darlow in goal. It's not what I'd go for, because I'd bring Gillespie. I'd keep Gillespie in. He impressed me in the last game. But I think he'll have Darlow in goal. Right back, Javier Manquillo. Again, he's played 2 games in, you know, quick succession and all that. But he's the best right back we've got at the club. So you go on the basis of that. In the middle, it's easy as pie. Jamal Lascelles rested, Fernandez rested really for the game against Blackburn. They come back into the middle. I think that's again straight away an easy choice to make, because I mean Kieran Clark goes on the bench for a bit of options and a bit of depth. Don't want to rush him back and expect too much too soon. Left back, again another player who was rested in the cup, Jamal Lewis. He'll come back in at left back. In front of him, again, more changes, more rotation, and 2 fantastic players to be able to bring in. Isaac Hayden, who, you know, celebrating his new contract and everything like that. How he hasn't got England recognition, nobody knows. Well, apart from Southgate, because he's a biased bastard, of course. But, yeah, nobody else with a sane mind and who isn't anti-NUFC. You know what I mean? Beside him, yeah, ain't nobody. It's John Joe Shelvey, of course, it is, with his range of passing and his technical ability. And again, he's come back so mean, hungry, ready for the fight. So Shelvey and Hayden in the middle. And then you're going to go the Irish Jesus, Jeff Hendrick. He'll be one side. And then on the other side will be ASM. Everybody needs a bit of ASM, doesn't there? It's just, yeah, it's the good stuff. It's the good stuff of Alan St. Maximum. He'll be on the other side. Up top, Andy Carroll, reborn. It's his renaissance in a Newcastle shirt. He does look like he's dropped a lot. He's been getting ready for the football. And talking about dropping a lot, his missus did, didn't she, this week? Yes, Andy Carroll and his partner Billy, they have welcomed a new child into the world. So congratulations to them two. Well, we really mean Billy, she did all the work. He just probably stood there and brushed his ponytail or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, he is going to be buzzing, isn't he? He's going to be on top of the world. He's got his place back in the team, it seems, at the time being. He had a good performance against West Ham. Obviously the birth of his child, and I think all of these good things that are happening for Andy at the moment might just give him an extra 5 or 10%. It might make him grow an extra inch or 2 on the pitch. And with all that in mind, I said on the podcast that we recorded with Kyle last night, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the one where he notches for the first time since coming back. I just sometimes believe in fate and nice little stories and stars aligning and all that sort of thing, and it would just be absolutely perfect if that happened in this situation, you know. So yeah, I don't know, stick a pound on it. I might go and stick a pound on it now, and if I come off I'll be like, well, I told you so. But it's got to happen eventually, hasn't it? And like I say, he was unlucky and with a couple of occasions and positions and stuff like that against West Ham. It looked a lot more like the Andy Carroll of, the Andy Carroll the first time round when we saw him last time against West Ham. He's come through with no injuries, no complaints, no niggles. That's a huge positive, because with the way that Joe Linton plays, we're going to need everybody else in the striking department to step up, because if you've listened to the podcast, and please, if you haven't, please do, and also the videos that we've done after the Blackburn game, myself and Kyle, Joe Linton is not the answer. And if Joe Linton is the answer, then the question isn't about scoring goals, because disgraceful. So we need everybody, all hands on ship, especially with the Gale situation, with Gale being injured as well. We need an Andy Carroll who's contributing to the goals this season and not just the assists. But yeah, fantastic to see Andy hopefully staying fit, hopefully contributing in a positive way to Newcastle, and long may that continue. And if there is a nice happy story today, that'll be all the better, you know what I mean. And for the team spirit and stuff as well, children being born, a tight group, it can just help everybody, lift everybody. It'll lift Andy, no doubt about it. Beside him, enough baby talk, will be Callum Wilson. He's going to come back in again, rested for the League Cup game, deemed surplus to requirements, was at the game actually, was doing some extra training and stuff before I'm getting up to full match fitness. And yeah, I mean, this is why, one of the reasons why the Newcastle fans are optimistic and feeling a little bit happier about the world and everything else at the moment, is because of this lad. Proven quality player, just like the other players really that we brought in. When you sign them, they don't have to adjust to the climate, to the culture, to the food, to the way of life. They can hit the ground running and you get instant results. And this is what it's proven with Callum Wilson. Stop risking 40 million quid on a possible or a roll of the dice, or he's looked okay in country X, Y or Z, and go for more proven players who have seen it, done it, got the t-shirt, and to a certain degree what you're going to get. And you know what? The fans, off the back of it, will just respond to it. Obviously I travel throughout the northeast day in, day out, and the amount of people, every extra spring in the step, a smile on the face, and it's all just because we've signed some proven talent. For one, we've got a little bit, a tiny little bit of optimism, a little bit of positivity, and for Newcastle and Newcastle supporters, it goes a heck of a long way. So yeah, for all those people who say that Newcastle United demanding bunch like Craig Bellamy, little gobshites like him, they demand Champions League all the time, them bunch of bastards. I've only got one thing to say to you, Lord: shut the fuck up, fucking head cases. Newcastle fans never demand anything. Just want to have a little bit of a go and just have a little bit of a smile and enjoy watching the football. And hopefully tomorrow will be an enjoyable experience for all. We can score a couple, maybe notch a 2 or a 3-0 victory. Nice, nice performance. Some, individual stuff as well. Some continued development and team cohesion happening. We get to see our new players continue to develop. I feel a bit sorry for Miggy. What's that now? He's got a couple of assists. He's notched a couple of assists in consecutive games already this season, and finds himself on the bench. But I think as the season goes on, he's going to get more and more game time. I love Miggy to bits. I think he's so great. I love how he just plays with a smile on his face. He's hard on his sleeve. and he just goes for it. I absolutely love that attitude. The bench as well tomorrow should look really, really strong. There'll be players who were playing last season missing out. I hope Joe Linton does. And for all of those of you saying, "Oh, it's been one game, you turned on him," no, nobody has stuck up more for Joe Linton since he arrived than me, and nobody's more championed giving the likes of Joe Linton a little bit more time before judging him. Well, you've been here well over a year and a bit, and I've seen nought. I've seen absolutely nought apart from a player who couldn't hit the side of a fucking barn. Yeah, so until Joe Linton can start showing me that he hasn't got a magnet in his shorts that's attracted to fucking turf, then I'm going to be critical, just like I've been critical of other players, but just like I'm positive about other players. I just think Joe Linton at the moment is being a lazy bastard, and he's living off a transfer fee and a number on his back. You know, if he was a lad who'd come through our youth system and he'd played as atrociously, repeatedly as what Joe Linton had, then he would have been out on his ear. There's no doubt about it. So yeah, Joe Linton, to me, I'd put him in the reserves for a few months, let him play up at Whitley Park, Whitley Bay. Letting them play a few reserve team games when the wind's blowing and it's icy and it's freezing, and you've not got all the luxuries of St James's Park around you or the Premier League. And then just see how long it takes before the penny drops that, goodness me, if I'm to get into this team, I need to put an effort in, I need to put a shift in, I need to stop being a pampered little lazy bitch who spends all of his time on his arse, on the pitch, complaining and whinging and bitching to referees that this is wrong, that's wrong, and the other's wrong. I need to put a bit of effort in, a bit of elbow grease, and I need to earn the ridiculous amounts of money that I'm paid, and and also reward the fans for the fantastic opportunity that he's got. We all want the players to succeed, we all want them to do great. We're all desperate. But at the end of the day, I think we've signed the only Brazilian who can't play fucking football, and that is just typical. But we touch on that on the podcast and obviously the previous videos, so I don't want to go into that too much. But I wouldn't have Joe Linton on the bench at all tomorrow. I think it sends a wrong message out that you're rewarding mediocrity, you're rewarding a lack of effort, and I want players who will run through a brick wall for that badge in the team and on the bench. So I wouldn't have him anywhere near involved tomorrow, to be honest. I'd rather stick a youth team lad on the bench if we're short of options up in the final third until we can make a transfer addition. Because this lad needs to understand quickly what it means to pull on that shirt and represent our football club. So a little bit of a grind my gears there, but yeah, I'm optimistic tomorrow. I think Newcastle can do it. I really, really do. Then we'll see where we are with regards to further reinforcements for this squad. There will be players going out. Yedlin, I don't think he'll be involved tomorrow. I think it's virtually a done deal that he's going to be heading off to pastures new on a free transfer. Good luck to DeAndre Yedlin. And it's not going to stop there. There'll be more players going out. I know we've had a few recently who've departed, but it needs to happen so we can reshape this squad, rebalance the squad, and then have a squad that's capable of challenging, to get to the upper, top 10 this season. It's still what I'm realistically thinking. If we can finish somewhere around 10th and do really well in, say, the League Cup or even an FA Cup, then that's got to be classed as progression. And again, if you listen to the podcast, you'll hear my thoughts very clearly on what I think is a brilliant opportunity for Newcastle in this season's League Cup. Don't mess it up, lads, and don't mess up tomorrow. Keep the positivity going, keep the fan base, all our morale and stuff alleviated and kept in a nice way. So yeah, hopefully we do the business tomorrow on the pitch. We'll obviously bring it to you all on Magpie 24/7, plus our reaction just as soon as possible. Appreciate the support, the kind comments and the messages, of course. Take care, keep it tuned, and I will speak to you later.